first two acts, they were pretty good. Pretty good. But this is who you really came to see. So, Antje Duvekot has built a wonderful grassroots career for herself, and she really has fans all over the world. She has a big following through the internet and through her tours, and we're just really lucky to have her here tonight in this beautiful little space, which she's gracing her earthly presence with on Earth Day. I'm trying to be clever. So I'm just going to let her start. Ladies and gentlemen, Antje Duvekot.
Hi. Let me know if you need more volume, less volume. Sounds like it's pretty good, actually. Thanks. So I guess I'll start with my Earth Day song. I wrote an Earth Day song last year. I was commissioned to write an Earth Day song for 2021 by the Goethe Institute, which is the German Language Culture Center. And I was really honored that they wanted me to write an Earth Day song, so I wanted to hit it out of the park. So I thought the best thing to do would be to do a bunch of research first. So I watched like David Attenborough documentaries, and I informed myself about like the plastics in the ocean and devastation of habitat and global warming, and I thought that that was really going to help my process. But then when I was done my tons of research, I was just like paralyzed with a deep sense of dread and depression about everything regarding the environment. So it kind of backfired. To be honest, I was like, oh my God, we are screwed. And I was pretty sure that that's not the kind of Earth Day song they were looking for, so I didn't know what to do. But I was sitting at my window with my writer's block and my empty piece of paper, and the deadline for the Earth Day song was encroaching, and I just like, I don't know what to say that's positive because I'm feeling kind of a negative outlook. But at that very moment, a coyote howled outside of my window. I live by some woods, and that sort of like jarred me out of my like paralysis, because it occurred to me that there's wilderness and beauty and nature right outside my window, and I'm so disconnected from it. I have like climate control and nature that's outside my window. It's not exactly uplifting, but it's a lot better than what I was going to write. Hey coyote, are you out there? Can you lead me to my ancient self? Hey glitter on the water, I think I need help. 'Cause I keep dry and I keep warm, got all this shelter from the storm. I can turn summer into winter, night into day with a switch. We can turn less into more, but we don't anymore understand which is which. Hey, perfection of a dewdrop, can you lead me to my healing spot? I thought I was independent, but I guess I forgot that I've got Milky Ways and one door on alone. I got riverbeds in my bones, and I don't know this, a part of this, a part of all this. Show me the road less traveled, let's follow it back to the source, before the balance unraveled, before we lost our course. Auf unserem Sand, Kohl Kosmos, unter der Anwesenheit, in seiner Zerbrechlichkeit, Unersetzlichkeit. Hey coyote, are you out there? Have we come to a dividing line? Hey pollen on a bee's wing, do we still have the time to save your habitat with habits that and habit that? We have the facts with habits that stop the ransack. We can grow less, so you grow that. Show me the road. Und daher Anwesenheit, seiner zerbrechlich und Unersetzlichkeit, Unersetzlichkeit, Unersetzlichkeit. If you suddenly stopped understanding what was happening, I had to switch to German because the people who hired me for the song, that's the German institution, so I wanted to put a little bit of German in the song. So one of the things I love about being a songwriter is that I don't have to have like a really great mind for details, because most of writing poetry is more of an associative kind of endeavor, which suits me very well because I'm super bad at remembering. Sort of like, some people are very detail oriented, but like I forget how things work. Like everything I learned in high school I've forgotten. And so in this particular song, I had already delivered the song, and then I learned that apparently, so the line where I talk about like pollen on a bee's wing sounds super poetic, but in truth is I thought that that's how bees transport pollen. But no, they transport it on their legs, not their wings. But my ignorance is always concealed very nicely by the fact that it's poetry. Poetic license covers all that up. So this is called Sweet Spot, and it's about being in a good place in your life. And it's also about sort of not taking for granted what you might have taken for granted, or might be taking for granted at any moment. If nothing else, I feel like COVID taught us that lesson, like these little things like this tonight, it's so precious, and you only have to have it taken away in order to remember how amazing it is. So I hope you're in the sweet spot of your lives as well. Once you stood below a mountain, now you find yourself surprised. This is the sweet spot of your life. This new view compares to nothing on the hardships of your climb. Yeah. This is the sweet spot of your life. It would seem the ice is melting. It seems you've come in from the cold. This is the sweet spot of your life. All your streams, they are now fuller than what their river banks can hold. Yeah, this is the sweet spot of your life. So you must hold these days like treasures in a jewel box in your heart. This is the sweet spot of your life. For you know well they are most precious, and to an old tree you must carve them. This is the sweet spot of your life. And may it only stay the moment when you dive into that blue. This is the sweet spot of your life. 'Cause by the time you hit the surface, it has rearranged you. This is the sweet spot of your life. You always wanted something solid, just one solid thing. Oh, but angels are so fickle, they only love you when you sing. But you don't need those fickle angels to shine. This is the sweet spot of your life. Once you stood below a mountain, now you find yourself surprised. This is the sweet spot of your life. This new view compares to nothing on the hardships of your climb. This sweet spot of your life. And may it only stay a moment when you dive into that blue. This is the sweet spot of your life. 'Cause by the time you hit the surface, it has rearranged you. This is the sweet spot of your life. This is the sweet spot. This is the sweet spot. This is the sweet spot of your life. This is the sweet spot. This is the sweet spot. This is the sweet spot of your life. One of the things that just happened to have coincided with the year 2020 for me is I got old enough to not be able to see things close up anymore. So I used to put my set list on my guitar, and now I'm like, this means nothing to me. It's just blurry. What fret is that song on? 6th? Maybe. We'll see. I guess we'll find out. I think this is on the 6th fret. So this is a slightly newer song of mine. I wrote this, well, I wrote it for my dad, but also not like he should never hear this song. This song is a conversation with my dad that I will never have with him in real life, because conversations go a lot better in song with people and when they never hear the song. But I'm trying in this song, I'm trying to sort of get my dad to see that change can be good. So my dad is an older man, and he is not really enjoying like well, I don't know how to really, so I mean, one of the trends that's happened lately, and not just in America but also in Germany where my dad lives, is that we're finally letting other people come to the table, you know, other than white men. And my dad, like, he's like, why all this change? Like, nothing was broken, everything was fine before. Like, he just has this major blind spot about that things were not ideal before. A couple of years ago, I was talking with him, and he was complaining, and he was saying, oh, you know, you can't tell Polish jokes anymore. Because in his day, it was like a genre, like you make fun of Polish people in jokes. And he was like, oh, it's such a loss. That was so fun and so funny. And I was like, well, Dad, maybe it wasn't so fun and so funny for the Polish people. And my dad, without missing a beat, and I think he believed this, he said, oh, no, it was fun for everybody. And I think he just doesn't have the ability to see that, you know, the whole thing, power differential, etc. So this is called New Wild West. Goes out to my dad. Hey, Alexander, you got a look on your face like a cowboy without a steed. Say, Alexander, she had stuck into place like a sailboat without a breeze. Ooh, Alexander, the name of the game has been changed and you don't know why. Just crash the flags you hoisted to infallible heights when you were the good guys. Do you feel just like a relic from a time that will never come back, like a furloughed colonel with nothing to command? Change, Alexander, it will sprout from below with the tact of a patient palm. One day, Alexander, you step out for a smoke, and the world that you knew is gone. Alexander, you commanded the stage in the age of the marble romance. Back when the world contorted itself as your prize, you were the good guys. You feel just like a relic from a time that will never come back. Now valor's on sale, boys can be girls. There are no damsels in distress. Welcome to your new Wild West. In that room with the elephant, before you were irrelevant on your guaranteed square in the game of musical chairs. You were never unkind, were just willfully blind back when you were blessed. Welcome to your new Wild West. You feel just like a relic from a time that will never come back, like a furloughed colonel with nothing to command. Welcome to your new Wild West. This song is an older song. I wrote this maybe 20 years ago. I was having a hard time. I was working a really crappy job as a waitress, and I wasn't even good at that. And I just had a breakup, and things were not going super great in my life. So I happened to be at a music festival, and I was wandering around in the darkness around the campsites, feeling sorry for myself and hoping that things would maybe turn around for me. And then I saw like a shooting star, and I wished it was a shooting star for things to get better. And then I realized that it wasn't even a shooting star, it was just a moth that flew by quickly and glowed with fire. I was like, oh, that just goes to show. So I grabbed my guitar and I found like a quiet corner of the campsite, and I wrote this song. It's a complaint song called Pearls. Born and raised in the South, in a suicide town. I was only 15 when it burned to the ground. I tore up all my memories by the side of the road with the tip of a needle. I carved my story in stone. Oh, when you gonna come for me, Lord? When you gonna come for me? 'Cause I've been expecting you forever, waiting here for you. Will you send a little grace? It's the least that you could do. It's the least that you could do. Was not much of a poet, I was missing the anguish. Not a very good lover, could never capture the language. I was an adequate painter, but it just left me tired. I did a stint as a hitman. In those days, at least I was inspired. Oh, when you gonna come for me? You're gonna come for me, 'cause I've been expecting you forever, waiting here for you. Will you send a little grace? It's the least that you could do. It's the least that you could do. I hooked up a hit down in the churchyard. I took a walk down Big Dream Boulevard. inside this world. We should all be mother in pearls. When you gotta come for me, Lord. When you gotta come for me, 'cause I've been expecting you forever, waiting here for you. Will you send a little grace? It's the least that you could do. It's the least that you could do. Never gonna be one of God's favorites, never gonna cheerlead with the angels. I tried to find a church that I could walk in. They tried to nail me on original sin. Oh, oh. So when you gotta come for me, Lord. When you gotta come for me, 'cause I've been expecting you forever, waiting here for you. Will you send a little grace? It's the least I could do. Been expecting you forever, waiting here for you. Send a little grace, won't you? Send a little grace. That song is completely metaphorical. And mostly people, when I play this song, they understand that none of those things really happened. Like, I didn't really do a stint as a hitman. Most of my fans, when I sing that line, they chuckle a little bit, and then they like pick up their NPR tote bags and they're on their way. But a couple of years ago, I got to perform a show in prison, in a medium security men's prison in Bridgewater. And I played this song, and when I sang the line, I did a stint as a hitman. In those days, at least I was inspired. They went crazy. They were like, ah! Oh, this is not the usual response. Different crowd. So it felt a little bit badass, actually. It was like my coolest moment. That, and when I got to open for Ozzy Osbourne, those are the coolest moments of my career. Yeah, I opened for Ozzy Osbourne at a medical conference, so that's not as cool as I had really opened for him in a real venue, but I did open for him. There was this conference called TED Med, and it was all about medical things, but Ozzy Osbourne was there because they were revealing his genome. So he was like there, and then some scientists in white lab coats like debriefed his genome, and I got to play a song before that because I have a song that relates to Alzheimer's disease. So I opened for Ozzy Osbourne, just not in like a cool way. It happened. This is a COVID romance song. It's a kind of a niche genre. There's not that many COVID romance songs, but this one's legit. So in March 2020, I was single and bracing for a long and lonely lockdown. And I was on social media a bunch, as were a lot of people, out of boredom. And this gentleman wrote me on Instagram, out of the blue. And I checked out his page, and he looked nice. There were photos of him, and there were other like nice photos of like pumpkins and puppies and fresh baked bread. So like it checked out. I was like, he seemed nice. So we wrote each other a bunch, and then there was just nothing happening. So we were like, do you want to talk on the phone? And I was like, sure. And we talked on the phone, and then we talked on the phone for long, and then we talked on the phone for like hours on end, to the point where we both like had to order like headsets so that that'd be more comfortable to talk. But because of COVID, we didn't meet for quite a while. We figured out that we could eventually like quarantine and it would be safe to meet. But basically our like courtship, if you will, was all voice over the phone with never having seen each other, and that carried on for about 6 weeks. So we knew each other very, very well by the time we met. And so it was a big risk, but we ended up meeting and actually hit it off in person as well, and ended up dating for, well, like almost the duration of COVID, but we actually broke up. I feel like I should tell you that before the song so you don't get too invested. Because I don't want you to be like, oh, that's so romantic. Because it didn't work out in the long run. But it worked out in the short run, and we dated for about a year. But I wrote this song to him when I never met him, and I just had his voice to go by. Which there's a kind of electricity when you just have a voice over the phone. So this is called Traces. I leave you traces, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You come in stages, 1, 2, 3, closer by degrees. In the dim beyond the in-between, perimeter and dreams. So far beyond the contour, so much closer than it seems. Like a string to a kite, I think you might have just the hands to hold me. Your voice on the wire, like an unseen fire, unravels and unfolds me. The hum of electricity is coming through the static. Could be love, love. And all the riots of uncertainty go quiet whenever you are on the line. We are made of time, and I could linger. Stay until the end, follow your fingers to where the pavement ends. And I will trace your silhouette that I have never traced. And in a world thrown off its axis, you spin me into place. And all the riots of uncertainty go quiet whenever you are on the line. We are made of time, time, time. I sailed my ship from beach to beach. There were things I loved in each. There were things I took with me. There were some I had to leave. I ran my ship against the stones. I've been lost, I've nearly drowned. Some days I ran into regret, the joy and pain out on the town. I've seen things I'd have never seen. The shells I gathered, my beliefs I made in the Amazon rain. So many things I can't explain, like how we followed the same star when we were anchoring in harbors, gleaming ports I sat and dined, where I found Ravelry and wine. But all those wharfs, they were not mine. The many songs I learned and sung, I loved the landscape, but nobody knew my tongue. I leave you traces, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You come in stages, 1, 2, 3, closer by degrees. In the dim beyond the in-between, perimeter and dreams. So far beyond the contour, so much closer than it seems. This is also a relatively new song. So last summer I flew to Germany and I had to leave from Logan Airport, and it was one of those summer thunderstorms where it's just like intense lightning and intense thunder, and I was convinced my plane would not take off in that weather. I was like, that would be crazy. But my flight was on time and I was like, really, we're doing this? Okay. And it was terrifying. Like, we took off, there was like no visibility, the lightning was just lighting up the wings. We were going up and down, and I was like, just really shaken. But I somehow got through that, and then before too long, we got above the clouds. And at that point, it's really peaceful and it's really beautiful because you have this cloud cover and you can see the lightning storm from above, and it's magical. It's like lighting up and you're safe up there and you just see the dancing, you know, the clouds are like dancing. At that point, I also was able to get the perspective more that the lightning is kind of localized. Like I could see where it was and where it wasn't. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, the pilot like knew that. Because at first I was like, the pilot is insane. But then when I got up there, I was like, okay, it makes sense now. And that experience made me just think about perspective. Perspective changes everything. And it made me think about evolution and how we built planes, and then we got ourselves above the clouds, and we had a, more powerful perspective once we did that. We didn't fear the gods and the thunder as much. So this song is called Evolution. It's about human evolution for sure, but it's a lot also about the evolution of a person in their own life when they gain more like tools and bigger sort of bird's eye view and perspective, which is something that I think happens as you get older. So here we go. Once we were stuck below the clouds when we were very small, and there was lightning raining down and we were frightened of it all, until we climbed above the thunder beyond the wrath of the gods, and we took a flight and the silver light was shining right there in our palms. And it's nothing if not strange to be sitting on a plane and to marvel at how far we came since the early dark days of that prehistoric dawn. Back when the phases of the moon were still just phrases without tunes. But ooh, look at us now. Ooh, yeah, we had doubts. Ooh, I see you now. And holy cow, look at us now. Take the pace of a snail and divide that by 8. To the faintest rate of progress, every eon looks the same. And our toolkit was so basic, and our mission was so weird. And it blows my mind that we persevered through the flooding and the rain, through every muddy ice age we soldiered on. And we kept the faith through the long and dark days of that prehistoric slug. Ooh, look at us now. Ooh, yeah, we had doubts. Ooh, I see you now. And holy cow, holy cow, look at us now. Look at us now. The shimmer of the stars is just a tribute to our scars. And ooh, look at us now. Ooh, yeah, we had doubts. And ooh, I see you now. And holy cow, look at you now. Look at you now.
I'm going to stand back and but I'll give it to you in a few
So I've been writing
seconds.
songs for quite a while, and I only just realized that I guess I have like a type. I think I've been writing the same song like over and over without realizing it. So the next 2 songs are like the same song, just different sitting. But apparently one of my favorite themes to write about is like courage and bravery and the concept of leaving your comfort zone, which is a very personal thing, by the way. Like I don't think of myself as someone who looks brave to other people, but for me, a lot of things are brave, like talking to a neighbor or something, or like eating an apple that I didn't wash. Like I have high anxiety in general. But nonetheless, I try to regularly kick myself out of my comfort zone because I do believe in it. I think it makes you grow, and also I think sometimes the things that you're afraid of lie like on the other side of the thing that scares you. Unfortunately, that's how it is a lot of the time. So I've had this kind of theory on how to live life all along, but then I saw an article in Psychology Today, and it confirmed what I thought, because the article said like, one of the traits of happy people is that they take risks. And I was like, yeah, I think I intuitively kind of knew that. But then I read the article and they didn't really elaborate like how many risks and how many risks was like too many or whatever. They didn't go into detail. But I think it's true. I think if you don't take risks, you don't stand much of a chance in happiness. So this is called vertigo. It's about being on a high wire and completely out of your comfort zone.
I have no you listen to a word that they say? 'Cause it's local and they would have you wither. 'Cause misery loves company. They would hang their wounds inside your rooms where they made the mistakes of their fathers. You I know, fool, and I'll wait for you out in the open water. Little heartbeat, keep kicking your feet. Don't you let them get into your head. 'Cause it's your breeze and they would shut the windows all in the name of safety. 'Cause they have volunteered to be chained by fear, but from one pioneer to another. It's not that we aren't scared, but I'll meet you there, out in the open water. Carry your boat to the water, take it out to the sea. Pay no heed to those who don't matter, let their chatter be seen. They can just talk and write you off, take your curiosity. Let them talk, let them chatter. Behind the rhythm and the measures and the pulse of the sea, there's a cavalry of stars to keep you company. So carry your boat to the water, out to where you can breathe. Pay no heed to those who don't matter. You got all that you need. They can just talk and write you off as a curiosity. But you always know the rhythm of the sea. So I have a request for this song. I wrote this song in the year 2000. It's called Long Way, and yeah, okay, I had more than one request, I guess. So I wrote this after the very first big road trip I took. I'd never been anywhere, but after I graduated college, my friend and I both, we wanted to see stuff and meet the American people and see America. So we bought ourselves an old Chevy Cavalier for $600. Yep. And we drove that car all the way from Delaware across to the West Coast and almost back, which was quite a feat for a $600 car. I mean, the people who sold it to us later were like, wow, really? That car made it all the way across and almost back? It didn't make it quite back. Unfortunately, the head gasket broke and it kind of ended in like a great big explosion of coolant, which was apt because we were hoping to see the geysers in Yellowstone, but instead we had our own geyser in the car die. At which point we were pretty out of money and our car was dead, but somehow a mechanic saw us and he took the car off our hands. And then he sold us a $200 car. So that's how we got home. That car was really interesting. It didn't really have a life, but if you were patient enough and you just kept turning the key in the ignition, it would come to life for a few miles, drive down the road, and then die again, and then you had to do that for a while. So we got home. We were in Northampton when that happened, and we were still trying to go to Delaware, which usually would be like a 4-hour drive, but it took us probably like 20 hours because of the car. These are the kind of things you do when you're younger, and sort of like, yeah, I don't know, reckless, I guess. But it was a kind of a magical road trip, and this song captures the entire trip. Yeah. Bid our friends goodbye. We promised we would write them, and headed north up 95. To the great unknown, we turned up our stereo, and I felt so reckless and alive. We didn't know who we would be, we didn't know where we would end up when we headed on the road. Little food and our guitars in the backseat in that old cello. When that would get stolen down in Idaho, it's a long way to Michigan and back, and it's a long way. It's a long way, hey, hey, the clouds upon our backs, and it's a long, 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 long way. I have never seen reflections of the cleaners, the blue as a Minnesota lakes. Those were the longest nights of wood smoke and northern lights as we talked until the morning came. The light outgoing embers, as sweet as I remember, among the rustling of the trees. Legend of the harvest moon, sweet ballad of the moon. I felt as ancient as I was meant to be. It's a long way to Tennessee and back, and it's a long way. It's a long way, the clouds upon our backs, and it's a long, 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 long way. Called you from a payphone, windy cold Missoula, and from Midland in the rain. A place as proud and sad as the South Dakota Badlands that touched me more than I could explain. Dirt poor reservation, League of all the nation, tries to hang on to its ways. Feather and peyote pipe, a six-pack of Miller Lite sits on the dashboard of a beat-up Chevrolet. It's a long way to Washington and back, and it's a long way. It's a long way, yeah, yeah. Clouds upon our back, and it's a long, 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 long way. It's a long way, worn out heels of Kerouac. It's a long, 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 long way. Out in California, we touched the other ocean, and I still have that jar of sand. In Arizona desert, the sky goes on forever. You've never seen a thing as grand. North Montana was cold, she keeps her secrets frozen under glaciers way up north. People have got lost up there, home of the grizzly bear, and we can ask the mountain, but the mountain doesn't care. It's a long way to Delaware and back, and it's a long way. It's a long way, the clouds upon our backs, and it's a long, 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 long way. Oh, it's a long way, worn out heels of Kerouac. It's a long, 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 long way. discovered via the TV show The Handmaid's Tale. It's called Feeling Good. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun, sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life for me. Feeling good. Tired when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life for me. I'm feeling good. Dragonflies out in the sun, you know how I feel. Butterflies all having fun, you know how I feel. It's deep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life for me. Feeling good. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. River running free, oh, you know how I feel. Freedom is mine, that's what I mean. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life. For me, it's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life. For me, and I'm feeling good. I don't know if you guys want to sing along, but if you know Tom Waits, awesome. I think this could be a good song for this space. It's called "Come On Up to the House," which is basically what you're doing here. You're bringing people up to the house. And if you don't know it, you'll kind of catch on the "Come On Up to the House" part repeats a lot. So feel free to sing if you know. Well, the moon is broken and the sky is cracked.
Come on
Up to the house. The only thing you can see is all that you lack. Come on up
to the house.
when all your crying don't do no good. Come on up to the house. Yeah. Come down off the cross, we can use the wood. Come on up to the house. You got it. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Come down off the cross, we can use the wood. That's the wrong words. Come on up to the house. Ooh, there's nothing in the world that you can do. Come on up to the house. You're gonna rip by the forces inside of you. Come on on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. This world is not my home, I'm just passing through. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. This world is not my home, I'm just passing through. Come on up to the house. There's no light in the tunnel, no irons in the fire. Come on up to the house. And you're singing lead soprano in the jump man's choir. Come on up to the house. Oh, there's nothing in the world that you can do. Come on up to the house. You were whipped by the forces inside of you. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Come down my own, I'm just passing through. Come on up to the house. You've got to come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Antje. As a reminder, Antje has some DVDs here, CDs. They're right in the corner as you go out by the exit to the left on a little table there. And if you want to give her tips, there's a tip jar there. Or to pay as you, what you can afford for a CD, just a nice gesture. I think we can get one more song at least.
Well, I got a request while walking down the aisle, so I guess everyone else is out of luck. Someone requested Diana's song, which is a song about one of my best friends. Her name's Diana, and she's amazing. And whenever we're together, we have a lot of fun. Like, we really like to go to TJ Maxx. That's our hangout place. We can spend hours there just looking at stuff. Sometimes we make ourselves at home, like there's chairs, you can sit there, and there's food you can eat. It's pretty great. And Diana will talk to people when we're there and invite them to sit with us. And she's the kind of person where they actually do sit with us and tell us their life story. So I'll end the show with this song. I was a little butterfly, I wasn't off to the best start. I flew right into a big wet puddle and would not have gotten far. Little wings stuck to the pavement, amidst pedestrians and cars. But you spotted me and picked me up, 'cause that's the way you are, that's the way. tell you one more time, I know that I just heard the whole wide world till my feet hurt. For a friend like you, and I could make it a full-time task. I don't think anyone would that, 'cause I love you more than I could ever say, more than most anything, more than most anything.
Thanks, Emily, my wife. Thank you guys, especially the North Cultural Council, Nirvana, Historical Commission, and a big thanks to Nate Maltinsky. He's not here tonight, he's in Florida, but he's really one of the main forces that created this, brought this space to what it is today. So, good very good. Next month we have Dwayne Haggins. He's a really a local country kind of rock singer, guitar player. He'll be here with an opener, Lauren King, who's a wonderful country singer. So we hope to see some of you guys then, and that's actually just in about 2 weeks from now. This was a special mid-month concert. Most of our concerts are first Fridays every month, so that's how it works. Thank you guys.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.